child healthcare is, ow, I hurt my leg. I can't run. A lion eats me, and I'm dead. Well, I'm not dead. I'm the lion. You're dead.
We were gonna make a stop motion film,
Yeah.
using the 3D printer and some wire we found, but due to various errors and the constraints and time reasons, we couldn't do it.
So we decided to make a documentary on us making a stop motion film.
That you will never get to see.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, everybody knows that a good stop motion film has a story behind it. And that story has another story behind it. And that story behind the story has a storyboard. So, here we are making the storyboard for the story behind the story for the stop motion film that we're not even gonna make. So,
When it came to making a puppet, we decided to make it as proportional as possible to the human body. So we measured my whole length and we separated into 3 pieces: the head, the legs, and the arms. Then we took the wire and we cut them down to size to match the proportions as easily as possible. As you can see, it took quite a while. Or not.
The sad thing is they're resetting it just after I got my back working smooth. Well, maybe when they reset it, they'll be easy. No, because I found loopholes.
Once we had all the wires cut down, we moved on to the designing process, which is we take the basic sketch of what we want and then we go into our 3D printing software to design and model our puppet. After we had all the basic shapes done, we moved on to refining the pieces just a bit.
yeah, I think we're making pretty good progress. Josh has actually been working on the design for the past 2 hours non-stop, so at this pace, we're set to be done in no time. There were a lot of challenges and barriers we faced when trying to print the 3D model. Since we didn't have access to a 3D printer, we had to put our project on hold for a while.
After the 3D model had been completed, it was now time to move on to printing it. So here I am, connecting the 3D printer to the computer and setting it to print. Here we have the 3D printer printing out the pieces of our puppet. It doesn't take very long usually, but for something about this size, it would take about 2 to 3 hours. Once the pieces has finished printing and the printer has cooled, it was now time to remove the pieces. A little bit of force had to be used to take the pieces out, but eventually they did give way. Once that was done, it was now time to refine the pieces a bit more. Once the pieces were finished printing, they had to be sanded down just a bit to help get that smooth finish. The torso and the waist of the puppet were split into 2 separate pieces to make it easier for us to fit the wires through, so they had to be glued together with acetone. We had the torso and the waist put together, it was time to move on to the legs. As you can see, it may take a lot of tools to get a stop motion film done. To reinforce our puppet a bit more, we use super glue to hold it in place. Here we have Mission putting together the final pieces of the puppet. Once the acetone had finished drying and all the pieces were into place, the puppets could finally be put into different positions, such as this one.
Here, Juicy is building a Lego Mindstorm EV3 robot, which will later be used in the stop motion film, which we are not actually making. Now comes the actual production. Stop motion is actually a lot harder than it seems. It requires precision, steady hands, and patience. A lot of patience. As you can see, you need a still camera, and you need to make sure that the object that you're moving does not make any quick or sudden movements that will move it from its original position. It's very frustrating.
No!
Were you validated? Getting it up and running. Oh.